now, humans? What's shaking? Yorkshire the record jerk back on my shit. Now, if you ever watched my shit before, you know that usually we focus on punk rock and hardcore punk kind of shit on this channel. But that ain't the only shit I listen to. And today is Metal Day. We ain't had a metal episode since sometime last fucking year. So it's time to give a little update on some of the metal records that I had coming in since the end of last year and all this year long, man. It's gonna be mainly 80s shit, original pressings, some thrash kind of shit, some regular ass metal kind of shit, filled in some holes I needed filled, got some weird rare private press shit, all sorts of metal. It's a metal day at Yorkshire, the record jerks, get off the rock. Here's a cool new friend that joined the fucking collection. This band is Griffin from San Francisco, California, and this is their first LP. Flight of the Griffin on Shrapnel Records came out in 1984. Here's the boys hanging out in the forest, and these guys deliver some wonderful fucking Dungeons and Dragons sword and sorcery styled 80s US power metal. It's a pretty fucking good listen, man. Think along the lines of like early Armored Saint and Metal Church and like the first Omen record and that kind of shit, right? Those are the skies where the Griffin flies. And I believe a couple of these dudes were even in an early version of Metal Church. This dude Yaz on the end went on to play with Heathen after this. And this fellow, William Roderick McKay, does a hell of a job on the vocals, which is what can always make or break a fucking metal record like this for me. This fucking dude brings it. He's a great fucking vocalist, whether he's singing or shrieking or screaming or yelling, right? He keeps it nice and fucking tough and angry and not like overly fucking high and wimpy and pretty vocal fucking weak ass metal shit. This is the real deal. Here's the Shrapnel labels. Good listen. Flight of the Griffin. This Griffin has obviously been working out. He's got himself a nice necklace. He's a great cover model for this record. If I was him, though, I might hit to the fucking skies because it looks like he's about to catch on fire. So, be careful, Griffin. Safe travels. Grab this totally bitchin' record from Hell Witch. Sigil Miscreancy. This came out on Wild Rags Records in 1990. And what you have here is some real fucking thrashy, sometimes pushing into deathy, like pretty fucking technical dictionary metal. What the fuck is dictionary metal, you might say? And I would say, look at the fucking album title. What the fuck is Sigil? Listen to these song titles. Mordrivial Disanimation, Pyrophoric Seizure, Sentient Transmography, Viral Exugens. So it's one of those kind of metal bands that just looks up long words in medical dictionaries or something. Dictionary metal. Now, if you were walking down the street and you saw their bass player, Tommy Mauser, in his McDonald's marijuana shirt, you might not think you would learn much from him. Little would you know all of the big, long, weird words he was about to teach you on the Hell Witch LP, brother. Got your own fucking Hell Witch comic right on the insert. Very nice. Man, I used to have this LP a long time ago, and it was signed right on this fucking weird, evil devil vampire comet by the fucking singer. I bought it off him off eBay. He had some fucking copies back in the 90s, but ended up trading that to somebody, so glad to have a fucking new copy again. It's fucking been a while, Hell Witch. I first heard this group through their track Torture Chamber on the Thrash Metal Attack compilation that New Renaissance put out in 1987. And that song Torture Chamber is a fucking winner. They're just like trying to play better than they actually can play. But the fucking spunk and the attitude is all there. It's a pretty perfect recording. Din, din, din. Torture Chamber! is a good one, but Torture Chamber's not on this record, which is too bad, because it's still probably my favorite tune by these guys. But this whole record is rad anyway. It's like a fucking recklessly wild, sloppier version of the first fucking Atheist record, maybe. Gonna mix in some of the fucking early sadists, like speed and fucking violence, right? With these wild, fucking crazy, savage fucking vocals. I fucking dig this shit. I think sometimes they might try to get a little too fucking technical for their own good, but I don't mind. Cool listen. Red band. Hell Witch. Picked up this fun little 12-inch single on the fucking cheap. Everybody's favorite crazy uncle, King Diamond. It's the Family Ghost on the A-side, Shrine on the B-side. Shrine is a previously unreleased track. Pretty classic King Diamond pose there on the cover. This was like the first King Diamond tune that I got fucking turned on to, the Family Ghost. I told the story of that in my Evolving Opinions fucking video, so if you give a fuck, you can look up that one. Kind of told my tale of how I fell into the King and his camp, and mentioned how I used to have this fucking one too, just like the Hell Witch one. I used to have both of these, and I fucking ended up trading them away or selling them, and now here they are, back in the collection where they belong. This is a European pressing that came out on Roadrunner Records in 1987. Fucking classic King Diamond, with them high operatic vocals all full of fucking drama and storytelling. Pretty glorious. Shrine here, like I said, was a non-album B-side. Ended up getting collected on the Evil Sides compilation at some point. Good shit though. How could you say no to a face like that? My little buddy. Here's one that finally plugs a hole that I've been looking to fill for a long fucking time. The second Man of War LP, Into Glory Ride. Came out in 1983 on Music for Nations, pressed up in the United Kingdom. And here's what that shit looks like. If you can't fucking tell by looking at these guys, this is full-on powerful and glorious traditional heavy metal from fucking New York. And to connect us back to this channel's regular content, here's the mighty Ross the Boss, guitar player of the fucking Dictators, an old favorite of mine. This LP is a little bit slower and doomier than your typical Man of War, but still 100% full-on glorious metal attack. Fucking impressive vocalist, man. This guy can belt it out for sure. And what's cool about this album is on here they graciously spared us from the confounded fucking bass solo they're always trying to fucking pass off as a song on their albums. That shit's always instant skips for me, so I don't mind it missing on this one. I also wouldn't mind some furry barbarian boots. Santa, take note. We fight to the death, to the last man, to the last breath. Death to false metal. Into Glory Ride. Dig it. And then we've got this one. Man, I feel like we've had a pretty killer string of album covers so far. Holy hell. Fucking Mortal Sin has brought it to the table today. Look at this motherfucker. Look at this fucking naked demon eunuch flexing up here and dropping some cracker crumbs on the ground. Just generally looking like a bastard. Pretty glorious. But this is the Mortal Sin Mayhemic Destruction LP. This came out of Australia in 1987. Put out by Mega Metal Productions. How you like that? Mortal Sin Mayhemic Destruction Mega Metal Productions. What you got here is some fucking straight up thrash metal, right? 1987 thrash metal. But it really sounds like maybe a couple years earlier than 1987 thrash metal to me. Got a big Metallica influence, kind of like Ride the Lightning era Metallica maybe. A little bit of Slayer in there. A little bit of maybe the First Testament record. But real heavy on the Metallica influence. But not in a bad way. Thrash wishes from Mortal Sin. Thank you. Fucking killer thrash record though, man. Good one. This is the original Australian pressing. I'm pretty sure the other pressings of this, like the European ones, I'm not sure if they did a US press or not, but every other press seems to have different artwork on the cover. That is still cool looking, but isn't this guy? Anyway, great thrash. Mortal Sin. Dig it. And now to ruin our string of killer album covers, Here comes fucking Rated X out of New Jersey with their Matter of Taste 12-inch. Came out on Shattered Records in 1987. Look at this fucking super shitty logo. Got a cool metal chick who forgot her pants at least, that's alright. But overall, I would rate the quality of the metal on the album better than the album cover itself. It's a quality release of regular ass 80s metal with some power metal tendencies at some times, but also once in a while some hard rockin' party flavors coming in as well, you know. Here's our friendly culprits that gave this to us.
Say hello to the gentlemen of Rated X.
Which one of you guys think drew that fucking shitty ass fucking logo, man? They just get one of their fucking little brothers to draw it or something. Whatever. I'm not good at drawing logos either. I don't hold it against them. The singer is a singer, not a yeller or a screamer, you know. But he's got enough bite and energy and venom in his fucking chops to keep my interest. Not a bad little record. It's private press on this Shattered Records. I think this is the only record that ever came out on this label. Probably a little bit weird and rare, but enjoyable nonetheless. Here's one I've been looking for forever. Fills a huge hole in my metal collection. First LP by Razor, Executioner's Song. I don't know how the hell it took me this long to finally get a hold of this fucking thing, but it's good to finally have. This came out on Viper Records out of Canada in 1985. Thanks for fucking writing on the label, Donnie, you turd. Pretty groovy insert. 100% pure metal. Guaranteed heavy. I'll take it, thank you. It's a lyric insert too. Anyway, Razor's fairly well known in the thrash scene, right, aren't they? Certainly one of Canada's top fucking thrash offerings in my opinion. If you have any fucking doubts, look at these guys. Holy shit, am I right? Every time looking impeccable, especially Mike the bass player, fucking full on righteous. Like I said, this is their first LP, 1985, fucking barbaric, no holes barred, take no prisoners, chop your fucking head off thrash metal. This guy has an axe guitar and is not afraid to use it. Opens up with the absolutely classic fucking Take This Torch, easily one of my favorite fucking Razor tunes. Fucking righteous. Good tunes, great guitar work, classic essential fucking thrash metal, dig it. Snagged this one for nice and cheap, man. Recipients of Death, Final Flight, 12-inch EP. Fucking dig this band, Recipients of Death, they're cool. It's like fucking killer thrash, but this time with a big fucking crossover sound, you know, big hardcore punk influence. Right up my fucking alley, you know, along the lines of the DRI crossover stuff. This group's out of LA, but this is a fucking Netherlands pressing of their 1990 record on fucking Wild Rags. Obligatory fucking thrash collage insert. A little less busy than a lot of them, but that's alright. Our second Wild Rags release of the day. They put out some cool shit, including fucking Tuco's group, but they only made it out of tape. Tuco, you gotta fucking repress that shit. Put it out on the vinyl, man. Put it out on the vinyl, man. Alright, here's a fairly new one. I've been showing pretty much only fucking 80s kind of shit, some early 90s stuff. But here's one that came out in the year 2021. Saber, Without Warning. I just seen these guys a fucking couple weeks ago. The Allied Forces tour came through town. These guys opened up the show. Traveler out of Canada, Screamer out of fucking Sweden, and Haunt out of California fucking headlined the thing. These guys were the opening band, but they were like easily one of my favorites. These guys and Screamer were the top two for me, man. They had a pretty over-the-top look as well as sound going on. They were super fucking fun. Their fucking songs were good. Had to grab the record. And they were kind enough to fucking sign it for me. Anyway, like I said, this came out in 2021 on Church Recordings. And these guys probably fit in with the new wave of traditional heavy metal thing going on. Much like all the bands on that Allied Forces tour. It was a fucking good show. These guys are coming out of LA, man, and they are bringing it. Tricolored vinyl. And what you got on here is like some melodic, speedy, traditional heavy metal. Fucking great guitar melodies and solos with some fucking over-the-top vocals. I dig it. Think like 1984, 1985-ish metal, right? Think like fucking old Accept, old Loudness, fucking maybe a little early Crew, some old fucking Queensryche thrown in. And of course add to that a nice helping of fucking Maiden and the fucking new wave of British heavy metal shit from back then. Occasional tinges of some glammy hair metal-y kind of shit. It's a pretty fucking good mix, man. They're not blazing new fucking paths or anything, but instead enjoyably celebrating what has come before. And one thing I fucking appreciate on here too that really just helped them nail the fucking style is fucking cool song titles. Storm of Steel, Midnight Rider, Strike of the Witch, right? Leather-laced lady. They looked the part, their fucking words are correct, the music was right. Fucking cool band. Check out Saber. Picked up this thing on the cheap on the strength of fucking one song on it. This is Silver Mountain with their second LP, Universe. This is a Canadian pressing. It's a split between Attic and Roadrunner. Came out in 1985. This apparently used to belong to some fucking library in Toronto. Trying to decide if I'm going to try to peel those stickers off or not. It's always a risky trick. I'm pretty good at it now, but some stickers just don't work with you. And these are like a shitty kind. I don't know if it'll go well. Yeah, these fucking guys, right? Silver Mountain. So anyway, I heard this track, Shakin' Brains, the first song, somewhere. I think it was on some kind of fucking like Swedish metal documentary or something. I don't remember. Somewhere I heard that and they were fucking playing that song. And like for the next like month, that fucking chorus, even though I only heard it like one time, was like stuck in my head. It's like, what the fuck is that? And it's weird because their first album is called Shakin' Brains, but this song Shakin' Brains is not on that record. The song Shakin' Brains is on the second album, Universe. It's a fucking tricky trick. And I don't appreciate Silver Mountain doing that. But I do appreciate that tune. So anyway, the song had been stuck in my head, and then it pops up right in front of my face. Nice and cheap, I had to grab it. I hadn't heard the rest of the fucking album. But it's a fine record. It's like early 80s Swedish metal with like a pretty huge fucking 70s hard rock metal influence, you know? Like big on fucking 70s Rainbow and Scorpion sound. That kind of shit. Which is cool by me. Fucking Silver Mountain. Shaking your brains. Once again with the groovy insert. Up next we got the fourth album from Tank. Honor and Blood from 1984. This is another one of those fucking Canadian Attic Records, Roadrunner Records split kind of deals. I came into some Canadian pressings lately. It just comes in waves like that sometimes. Same damn insert. Anyway, Tank, if you're unfamiliar, we're like a British new wave of traditional heavy metal band, but on a big fucking Motorhead tilt, you know? Which is right up my fucking alley. And even better still, this is the fucking metal band made by a fucking excellent punk rocker in his own right, fucking L.G. Ward, who played in The Saints and the fucking Damned before he did this fucking Motorhead-influenced metal with fucking war-obsessed lyrics. Pretty sure at this point LG is the only original Tank member left, man. But still pretty rad album. The songs are getting a bit longer at this point, which doesn't always work for me, but I'm okay with it here. It doesn't get too boring. It fucking stays hot rockin'. This fucking album, inexplicably, right at the beginning of side 2, has a cover of Aretha Franklin's Chain of Fools. That amazingly sounds pretty good, and against all odds, fits in quite nicely with the fucking album. I don't know how they pulled it off. Because on paper, it sounds like a horrible fucking choice of cover. But it's cool. Overall, not my favorite Tank album of all time, but a damn good one. Had to grab this thing. This was a Record Store Day release this year. It's the first ever US press of the 1991 Voivod LP Angel Rat. I usually try to get original pressings, man, but there's only one European press of this that came out in 91, and it's fucking hard to find and expensive as fuck. And I like Voivod a lot, so I really wanted to have a copy of this one. It's really a rather interesting release from the guys. They're like blasting off into fucking parts unknown and really kind of just doing their own thing and kind of shed some of their metal skin, you know? It's like some kind of progressive thrash alternative psych metal rock shit. Nice and weird. Voivod have never been ones to sit back and do the same thing over and over again. This one came out after Nothing Face and is another huge jump into the unknown. Probably one of their lighter and or least metal albums, but there's still metal shit in here for sure. It ain't no fucking War and Pain, I'll tell you that, but it's a fucking great listen. I pretty much love all the Voivod shit, and this one is no exception. Happy to finally fucking have it. Fancy pants vinyl, an enjoyable and interesting listen. Voivod. Up next we got Warlord, and the Cannons of Destruction have begun. This is the Golding video soundtrack. That's right, there's some VHS out there that captures this whole fucking thing in its glory. This, I believe, was the one and only Warlord show, at least from back in the day. So this captures their live performance. Came out on Metal Blade Records in 1984. Classic fucking Metal Blade label.
Warlord, Warlord.
This is a LA band that I'm rather fucking fond of, really. Their Deliver Us 12-inch that came out the year before this one, I think, is really one of my favorite fucking albums of this style of fucking metal, man. Really fucking perfect songwriting. And this album has songs from that as well as songs from the Alien 12-inch single and a couple new ones that make up this release. Great live recording, great performance, and great fucking songwriting. It's like excellent mid-paced 80s US power metal with like dark and mystical fucking lyrical themes. It's fucking groovy. They do got a new singer on this one, Damian King II, which is funny because their first singer was named Damian King. So it's like, dude, if you want to be in the band, you gotta have the same name as the old singer. Okay. We did that in one of my bands too. We were like, listen, dude, if you want to join the band, you gotta be named Asta Lasagna. And he was like, okay. And so then this poor little guy just had to be called Lasagna for fucking years of his life. You know, Damien's like,
How come I can't be named Destroyer or Thunderchild?
it's just the way it is. You're the new guy. We pick your name for you, Damian King #2. Anyway, check this out. Special thanks to Nike for their support. I want to know what the fuck Nike had to do with this shit. Was Warlord sponsored by Nike? That shit's intense. Anyway, great band, cool record. This was the last one I needed to get their whole 80s output, so glad to finally have it. But the Deliver Us 12-inch is still their best fucking one in my book. Faux show. But what of Wicca and their self-titled 1988 4-song 12-inch EP? Wicca. TNT Records, it's not really record label, it's just fucking Wicca put out their fucking album. It's cool. Wicca's giving off like some fucking sabotage-y, metal churchy kind of fucking vibes here. Dude's got like higher vocals than I usually put up with for this kind of shit, but he fucking pulls it up with conviction and occasional aggressive fucking spurts that keep it fun. Pretty fucking cool grab that you don't see every day. It's a little weird, right? Says there's 4 dudes in the band, and there's only 2 of them on the back, and all this fucking blank space on the other side. 2 dudes are out there fucking still to this day like,
Can't believe my fucking picture's not on the fucking Wicca record, man.
and I don't blame them. I don't know if that's a fucking misprint or if they just like fucking had a huge argument and these 2 guys were like, man, fuck those other 2 guys. Wicca's all about us, man. I don't know. Either way, cool record. Cheers to Wicca. Canada's great Wicca. Yeah. Okay, last one. And let's end it on another fucking sick-ass album cover. This one's only a 7-inch, but the cover is gigantic.
Dun, 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 dun.
Kazba with Russian roulette. Look at that fucking shit. Fucking brutal artwork, man. Pretty bitchin'. The back cover ain't too shabby either. Death metal. Kazba's from Japan, and this fucking single came out in 1986 on No Poser Records, right? What is not to like here? No posers. These guys fucking bring some wild, sloppy, primitive, raw fucking thrash to your ear holes with fucking gruff, yelled vocals and aggressive, raw fucking thrash metal. You see death metal here, but it's like 1986 death metal, you know? It's not 1993 death metal. So there's a difference in those sounds. No fucking posers! You can definitely hear the bits of hardcore punk roots fucking coming through, and you can definitely hear them pushing towards the future sounds of death metal. But overall, it's like some gnarly thrash shit. With that for a cover. Kazba out of Japan. Killer! Hey, so that's all we got for this week, right? Next time we'll probably be back on some punk rock shit. But it was nice to have a little metal holiday today. See you next time, friends. Bye!